This is the Wise Owl 2 coming out you from the city where I live. I was very sick a couple of days ago. I was going to go to the hospital or to call my doctor or something because I was very bad. I have very bad sinus infection, post-sinus drift. My teeth were hurting me. I got that sensation in the roof of my mouth. That the roof of your mouth, a sensational itching that you know you're getting sick. My eyes were watery and everything. And I got bad chest congestion from it. I kept coughing and coughing. My nose kept running. I had congestion in my head and everything. So how do I know that my sinuses were congested? How I know? This video is not about about the congestion of my chest, but how do I know about my sinuses being infected, congested? That has a sinus problem. How do I know that? Well, I bend down and forward. You know, like when you bend down to pick a piece of paper up, and then you put your head down to reach down for it, like that. Pressure behind my head, pressure on my face, pressure on my cheeks, my nose, a lot of pressure. By the way, I knew I had sinus infection. So what did I do? I thought I had to go to a hospital, but I didn't. I used all my training that I had when I was a young man. When I was a young man, I wanted to become a doctor. I studied all kind of books and all kind of knowledge, acupuncture, pharmacology. I did all that study and books and everything, but I never fulfilled my. I never went to medical school. And never nothing like that. So I just got my knowledge. And one thing I noticed about the symptoms, I look at my tongue. It was very white. See my tongue now? Slightly white, slightly. It was very white and cracky. So I knew it was a wind cold because a lot of wind was coming in. The house was breezy. And sometimes people in the house keep their windows up to get fresh air. And all that breeze was coming in. And only me, but other members of my family had the same sickness. I knew it was wind cold. According to traditional Chinese medicine. So I knew what it was. So I pushed the pressure. So I put pressure point on large intestine number 4. I put pressure point on the wind gate behind my head, and it was working. I was burping. I have flagellations. Okay, flagellations. You know what? Let's call it. I was farting and I was burping. Okay, so let's call it what it really is called. And that's a sign that the wind was the problem, and the wind was being dispersed as I touched my number one, the webs, and this point here. And I touched my muscles here, the lungs, and in the back of my head, the wind gate, which, by the way, that's where the wind comes in, to the back of your head, your neck. And so my tongue was white, and I felt very lazy, tired, no energy. That's cold symptoms. So what did I do? As I felt the roof of my mouth hitting me. Now, the sinus was causing a post-nasal drip down to my chest, which was causing me to cough and have a sore throat and very congested. But this is not what the video is about. The video is about sinus infection. So I took some water up to here. I took some salt. Not much salt, just a little bit. And I tasted the concoction, the solution. And I noticed I had just the right amount of salt. Too much salt in water, and you put that in your nose, and your nostrils will burn. You don't want that. You don't want that. So I took the solution after I tasted, and I went like this. I took one finger close one nostril, and the other one I tilted up the solution to my nose, and I inhaled all the way up, and then everything went up and everything went down into that hole you have in the back of your mouth, in the roof of your mouth. Everything. When you felt the pain, that's where it came down, that little hole there. And I had napkins and paper towels and everything around me to blow my nose. Shoo, everything was coming down. Shoo, shoo, shoo. And I was coughing up mucus. So I had to get a little container that we do, a container you don't need anymore. You throw away. And I was coughing up some mucus from my chest too. Pa, and from the back. And that's what I did. So the more I blew my nose and the more I used this concoction, first like this, then like this, the more I did that, the more I blew my nose, the more all this was starting to unclog. You hear like the unclogging sensation, and the tubes would be coming unclogged. So I kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. 10 minutes, if that, I felt good. I went to bend down to see how bad it was. Not as much pressure. By bending down and going forward, you can tell whether it's working or not. It's working or not. The same way I found out in the beginning I had an infection by bending down and reaching down, like picking something up like that. The same thing I did to know that my congestion was being decongested and that the tubes were being unclogged by doing the same thing. That's how you can tell. So what happened? I look at my tongue, and my tongue was less white, less cracks, less white, and I started to fart. I started to burp. I had to say fart because what do you call it? Flatulations, whatever you want to call it. It was coming out. That's one of the symptoms of that the wind is being dispersed. You fart, you burp. You know what I'm saying to you? Stuff like that. Then you know it's working. Okay, that's one of the symptoms that you know that the wind has been dispersed. And I kept using my thumbs to touch the back of my head. This area here, right here. See it? One side here. That's the wind gate. That's why the Chinese people believe, the Chinese traditional medicine practitioners believe, for doctors, you should always have a scarf in the winter or something to cover the back of your head and neck. That's where it comes in. The beer is not going to help you. Believe me, it's not. Okay, like they say, it comes behind your neck, not in front of your face. Okay, and so I did that, and I was farting, I was burping, and everything. So I kept using the sword and throwing out the mucus and using the paper towels and napkins and tissues to blow out to blow everything out. As I did this, I put more water. Used a plastic spoon. Did the same thing again and again. 5 more minutes after that. First 10 minutes, then 5 minutes. I bend down, all gone. I feel good. It was all going. My nose started to run for a little while longer because of the water that was in my nose. I cleaned everything out. So now you only need pressure points. If you know anything about traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture points and stuff like that, then you just take the water and salt. That's good enough. Okay, just release all of that, and that's good enough for now. Because what you're worrying about is your sinus infection. This video is about the sinus infection. Everything else, all the other points I use, it was just my knowledge, okay, from acupuncture that I took up in Chinatown, Philadelphia. So what happened is that I felt good, and I bent down and went forward like I was picking something up to see how much pressure. Nothing, just a little bit of my nose. A little bit of my nose, a little bit right here, that goes like that. That's all it was. All this was gone. The ear was unclogged. Everything was fine. Okay? That's how you give it a sinus infection. Water and salt. Okay? So this is the Wise Out 2 coming at you from the city where I live. Please take care of yourself. It's important. This is the autumn. And the wind from the autumn and the cold weather brings what is called cold wind into your system, okay? And you get sinus infection like anything. So salt and water, not too much salt, just enough, okay? Stir it, okay? This is why I took come at you from the city where I live. Have a good day. Over and out. I feel fine. 2 days went by, I feel fine. No hospital, no doctors, nothing. Okay? Over and out. Have a good day. Bye-bye.